Hi, I'm Dr. Blair Masters with AccuSmart, and I wanted to talk today about something that a lot of people, including myself, have a lot of problems with, but it can have a profound effect on your health, and that is forgiveness. I had a patient who had tons of health problems. She was in her probably late 30s and just had endless problems. She had migraines, she had stomach issues, she had digestive trouble, she had arthritis, she had neck pain. It just went on and on and on. And she never really got a lot better. She'd get a lot of relief from my treatment, so she'd come back on a regular basis. But she never wanted to approach what I believe was one of the underlying causes of her health problems, and that is her relationship with her dad. When I met her, she hadn't met her dad in probably 25 years. And he wasn't in her life. She didn't even know where he lived. It wasn't even an issue where she saw him at all, but she still had seething rage toward him on a regular basis. And this came up during our conversations, and I said, "Hey, you really need to work on forgiveness." And, oh no, there is no way I can forgive him, and I have no idea what he did to her. It must have been pretty bad, but what I tried to explain to her was that you don't forgive for the other person. It isn't something that helps them. You forgive for yourself because you don't want to carry around that seething anger all the time. It's not something that is good for you. It's not healthy for you. It's not good for your body at all. And getting rid of that is like carrying around a heavy, heavy burden and then setting it down and not ever picking it up again. It really can make a huge difference in your life. And people say, oh, you know, how do I even do it? I don't, I can't forgive. There's some steps that you can take, I'm going to go into in just a second here, that can make an enormous difference, even if you're not like, oh, I feel in my heart I have forgiven them. Then that's great if you can get there. But this is a good starting point if you don't feel like forgiveness is within you. This is a technique that I'm going to go into. So let me actually get into this here just a little bit. Um, Let me how to forgive. Um, and I'm going to quote the Bible here, Matthew 18:21 to 22. Quote, then Peter came and said to him, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Peter was thinking 7 times is definitely effective. Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Now, that's a lot of forgiveness. And most people aren't up to that. Jesus, obviously, an extraordinary person. But anyway, when you're wronged, forgiveness can really feel completely impossible. It can really feel like, there's no way I can forgive this, especially if the hurt is recent. But the person you help when you forgive is you and not them. It can really make a big difference. So dynamic consciousness repatterning, I wanted to go into what this is. It uses acupuncture to internalize positive emotions and to eliminate negative emotions. So how do we do dynamic consciousness repatterning? There's 2 steps. And if you send me an email, I will send you a PDF on exactly how to do it and some number of phrases that are good for doing this. Um, so there's an acupuncture point right here. If you bend your pinky right here, make a fist, it's right there, right in the corner. And just tap, tap, tap. You're just stimulating these acupuncture points. Some people do it this way. I kind of prefer doing it this way. It doesn't really matter, but you're stimulating this acupuncture point, and you say 3 times, I totally and completely forgive, fill in the blank. And it helps if you're more specific. I totally and completely forgive Joe for stealing that money from me, or whatever the situation is. I totally and completely forgive my father for X. Or, one of the things that's extremely powerful, and so many people carry this around with them, is they don't forgive themselves. They have you, you know all the bad stuff you've ever done in your entire life, and you're the only person who's ever going to know a lot of that. And a lot of people carry this unforgiveness of themselves around, and that's really a double whammy, because you're not only mad, but you're mad at yourself, and you're the person who you're focused on being mad at something, but that something is you. So it's a really bad situation. So I totally and completely forgive myself. That's a really great phrase. And again, if you send me an email, I'll send you a PDF that talks about exactly how to do this. I totally and completely forgive myself for missing that opportunity, or whatever the situation is, for being mean to my wife, whatever the situation is. You say this 3 times, and then the next acupuncture point is directly below the pupils on the bone right here. I usually use 2 fingers just to make sure you hit it. And then while you're stimulating this acupuncture point, you think about the problem, you think about the issue, you think about how mad you are, how you can't forgive that person. And even if you're in a situation where you feel like, I cannot forgive them, if you go through these steps, it will help. It really, really will. And this technique works great for things like forgiveness, but it also works great for internalizing positive emotions. Um, I am completely and totally healthy, or whatever. So on the positive side, and on the negative side as well, getting rid of negative emotions and installing positive emotions. It works great. I call it dynamic consciousness repatterning. And send me an email. I'll send you a PDF right away. Thanks. And I hope this helps.